I remember.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Sometimes that's with video and audio. When you press that record button, like
Yeah.
if it jumps, then it sets that way.
Yeah, it was lagging. I don't see any lagging right now. Okay. All right, I'll bring it in. Yeah, welcome to another episode of The Round Circle with your host, the fifth general, Zach Kearson, Cinemascapes. All right, let's get into it today, all right?
All
right.
We are going to catch up on last time, right? Last week and everything. So today's date, I want to remind people this is May 24th. On the day that we're recording, sadly, a school shooting happened. And let's name the name of this actual place in Texas. It happened in Texas. This is a shooting. The school is Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. Right. We're gonna get to that pretty soon. Details are still unfolding as we're doing this show. But we really wanted to touch on first was the shooting that happened by the white supremacists in Buffalo, New York at Tops grocery store. And I kind of want to get y'all opinion before I go. Zacchaeus, I'm going to have you go first, man. You saw what happened. We were texting back and forth and everything, gathering information for over a week or so, right?
Yeah.
What's your initial reaction first, and then how you feel about it now, being that we have more things that have been uncovered? You know, the shooter pleaded not guilty. Obviously, he's going to do that because he thinks he was justified, right?
Yeah. You see, with the when he did that, and when he came into the top supermarket, and now everything is over. He's still living. He's still around. He's still living. Obviously, it was a white supremacist that did that. He's not even in the town.
Yeah,
he doesn't even live there. He doesn't even live there. Just came in, started blazing.
Yeah,
innocent. Anybody in sight. That's the crazy thing about it, was anybody in sight.
Any black person in sight.
Let me rephrase that.
Clear,
let's make it clear. Because any black person in sight.
And before you go, I want to mention this real quick to the audience. Real quick, and I'm gonna give it back to you. There was he live streamed this. At one part, I can't watch the video; it pisses me off. But I've seen parts of it.
Me too.
He walks down the cashier aisle, sees a white man pleading for his life. He tells him sorry, and then goes down the other way and shoots somebody black. Yes. Go ahead.
Yep. So I don't want to hear that there's no racism involved in it, because I've been hearing from some of my Caucasian counterparts that there was just a serious shooting. No, it was a race. It was a white supremacist, we can also label it terrorists, because they don't
We know he's a white. We know he's a white supremacist because he called himself that.
Yes,
in his manifesto.
He called himself that.
This ain't suspected racism. This man in his manifesto claimed to be a white supremacist. Go ahead, Zacchaeus. Go ahead.
Yes. So his intention is just like the same thing like Dylan Roof. No different. His intention was to kill any black person on sight. So I'm looking at this. I'm keep looking at this situation, and I'm seeing that he's gonna get life. The way how he took life, he's just gonna get life. That kind of bothered me. Also, what bothered me is that it's a simple fact that that people are now stepping out in Buffalo and saying, "Listen, we are a peaceful community, and we're a community that we don't, and we're now coming together, and we're saying that this was planned. He planned this, because remember, because people don't get the whole story. He was in the beginning. He was kicked. I heard he was kicked out of the supermarket. And then when somebody called in the supermarket, that was, I guess, somebody that's one of the survivors one of the person that was in the supermarket, black person that called, the person hung up the emergency.
You talking about
911.
911? The 911
911.
Yeah.
Hung up
Hung
the
up.
phone
Yeah.
because I guess he was speaking quietly, so they just
Mm-hmm.
hung up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Hung up the phone, so that disturbed me too.
Mm-hmm.
So all this unravel. I'm like, wait a minute. So they know. So in a way, Top Supermarket is in a black community. It's in a black community in Buffalo, and most of the consumers there are black. That shop there are black. This was not. This is definitely intentions. This is no. Well, I'm gonna just shoot up everybody. This was particularly targeted towards us. So, to me, it was more of this was definitely a hate crime. There's no other way to put it. It was a massacre. It's definitely a hate crime. There's no other way to put it, you know? So I look at this and I say to myself, man, I want to see what's going to come out of this. No, I want to see what's going to come out of this because getting a life, if it was somebody of non-Caucasian, would he get life? I don't. Or he would be put to death.
Non-Caucasian would have been put to death, like the shooter of the Texas school. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah,
He wouldn't have left the scene.
See,
he would have been DOA, toe tag,
exactly, morgue. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By the way, a off-duty cop just so happened to be. Well, I don't know if he was off-duty, but they said an officer of the law happened to be at Top's grocery store, shot at him, missed, but he was killed. And I want to talk about also the training of this man. Now, the media, the KKK media, which is pretty much all of them, right? They are running with that ploy of, oh, well, you know, he's an 18-year-old kid. Cinema, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Cinema.
Go ahead.
You know what that means. That's a code word.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How old were the Central Park kids? They weren't even 18. Get out of here with that bull crap.
Exactly.
Number one. Dude has a manifesto calling himself a white supremacist. Dude's in a black neighborhood where he doesn't live, in a city he doesn't live. There are 10 people dead, 3 people injured. Get out of here with that crap.
Exactly.
He's only legal adult. If you do certain crimes at 16 and 17, you go to jail and tried as an adult.
Yes.
If you want to come with 18 with firearms and murdering, that's 10 counts of first-degree murder. It's not manslaughter. It's not nothing. It's premeditated first-degree murder on people he didn't know. And that it's despicable.
It's despicable, yeah.
And that just shows you, you know, it's like Antonio Brown getting loose mouth on Kaepernick about why Kaepernick kneeled. This is why Kaepernick kneeled.
Exactly. This is why he kneeled.
And this is the problem. Because I won't talk about my personal experience because I'm in a certain state where there's not a lot of black people, where I had an incident where I didn't do nothing physically. White people are in denial over this. Not all of them, but the majority. They are in so much denial about how this country treats black people. All 3 of us have lived our whole lives watching our back, having to learn how to deal with the police a certain way. Our parents had to teach us that stuff.
Yes.
If we have kids, you have kids, Wayne. You have to teach your kids how to conduct themselves. They can't go around and do stuff like other kids of other races
Can do. That's right.
and get away with it.
Get away with it. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Even in our
Facts.
church systems, you could see preachers fly off the handle. If you're a black man in a white church, fly off the handle one time, struck out. You get the Michael Weston treatment, burn notice. That's ingrained in our society. And if you don't want to deal with that, that's why a lot of people in me right now, I ain't dealing with people. Because if you want to come with that racist mumbo jumbo, because I'll say this, I'm going to say it because I was going to. The Bible wasn't written when America existed. America's only 200 something years old.
Speak on it.
So the Bible doesn't uphold this country's values. Americanized Christianity holds up America's values, not real biblical teaching. And you got to go back to the East where Christianity started to find out what they really believe, and you might get shocked. But that ain't the subject of the show. But I am putting that out there.
Yes, sir. That's right.
This is utterly disgusting. And for this to happen over and over, state by state, across this country, you know, now in Buffalo, because it's self-justification, because, you know, it's the participation trophies. It's not anyone taking responsibility for themselves. It's your truth. Your truth ain't crap. There's only one truth, the real truth.
The real truth. Yeah.
Cancel that. Cancel me. I don't care. I ain't nobody anyway. You go around with all this garbage on there. Like the trend of these white girls trying to talk about keep your head up was to all women when there's clearly lines of that song that specifically about black women. Yes, I'm bringing it up. See, y'all want to go there with guns and stuff. I'm going there on all levels now. You know what I'm saying? That ain't about you. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
The darker the skin, the deeper the roots.
The roots. First line of the song.
On welfare. If nobody cares, I tell you, Tupac cares.
Tupac cares, exactly. So this false narrative that even the gentrified churches even do, the gentrified societies, because you want to play that game that, oh, what our kids do is right. Y'all been wrong since day one. Y'all been wrong since before slavery in this country. But you don't want to have a conversation about that.
Nope.
And it's like, the solution is sitting over there in the Senate, but I'll talk about that later when we get in the second subject.
That's right.
Fifth.
Because if we hate the ladies and they rape the ladies, and they take the babies, and then they ask why we're angry, and then they get mad, something turn their mother to a crack baby.
That song is totally about the black fight, completely. It was dedicated to the black woman. That's what I'm saying. Y'all acting like you're on crack and you ain't even on nothing. You're on whiteness.
Oh man, you brought that Tupac thing up. That was interesting. Wow.
Because it just shows you how ingrained in the society this crap.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Yes.
And they want to say it's not systematic, but that is another thing that proves that it's systematic.
It's systematic, yeah, man.
You know, I want to give it back to Zacchaeus. I'm holding my point, but I want to give this back to Zacchaeus. Hey, did you also let's also keep in mind this shooter who was 18-year-old man, because you know, when Trayvon got killed by Zimmerman, they called him a man. They called him a man, and he was barely 17 years old.
He was barely 17 years old.
Right, he wasn't even 18.
By the way,
exactly.
So I mean, hey, it's only fair for me to make this point that he was an 18-year-old man, because by law, 18, you're an adult, right? You're not old.
You're an adult.
You're not old enough to drink, but you're an adult. And
you're an adult.
And I'm hearing that they're pushing the mental illness thing. They said that, Oh well,
Wow, well,
it
that's what
was.
they all do.
The reason why he snapped was because he was isolated from COVID.
And the whole rest of the world wasn't.
Zacchaeus.
There you go.
They see what is a premise. That's why the Klan is still here. I don't know if you heard it, but the Klan is still as an uprising. The Klan in Georgia. This is why they're still here because, and the Panthers are not. They're hidden. This is why they're still here.
Because they shot at us.
They shot at the Panthers. They trying to kill a lot of the Panthers and incarcerated the Panthers. They did a lot of that, but you see, the Klan is still here. So when they say they're not using the because he has a mental illness. The man that
sounds familiar, right? I know you've heard this before, countless.
I heard this many times. A mental illness.
Yeah.
So mental. So let's figure this out. Mental. He has a mental. So they say he has a mental illness. So Dylan Roof also has a mental illness too. Who else has a mental? All these. Let me see.
The theater shooter.
They did use that in the defense of Dylan Roof in the court. Just by the way, they did use that with Dylan Roof. Yeah.
See. Yeah.
And they did with the Carrot Top shooter. I'm sorry. He looked like Carrot Top. He ain't Carrot Top. Sorry.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about the comedian.
Not talking about the comedian. But,
that's my boy. But
yes,
the shooter who was trying
Colorado,
to look like him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They used mental illness with him too. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's Tukey Williams. When they executed him and he was doing right, he has mental illness too. When he started the Crips, he has mental illness. Let's fair is fair because you kill all of the black, you killing black people. Just if it was a black man that did that, he would have been, like you said before, he would have
he wouldn't have left the scene alive.
He wouldn't have left the scene alive, right?
They would have Swiss cheesed him.
Exactly.
Abner Luina, especially with a gun.
Exactly.
Like Fred Berry, and Martin, when he was like, "How many times you been to my house? Hundreds." And what would have happened if you would have came? I'd probably get sprayed.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they would have did.
And it was only funny because it's true.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so they blame they're putting mental illness on him now, huh? I'm not surprised. Yeah. This is what white supremacy this is what. Yeah, exactly. Privilege. Yeah. We're gonna just put that out there. That's what it is. That's what it is.
All right. Everyone ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for you. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this.
Right now, and thank you, Zacchaeus, for talking about the KKK because it's actually helping my point. This segues. Why is it that when a pigmently challenged mass shooter does something, we hear the words mental illness, we hear the words lone wolf, and we don't hear the words domestic terrorist? Okay? Why is it that when a shooter of that who has the same complexion of a saltine cracker, I'm talking about the food here, why is it that you always hear, oh, he was a good kid, he was a straight A student, he didn't do anything wrong, I don't know what happened, I don't know? And why is it that the media, especially like news platforms like Fox News, always have a eyes bucking, butter biscuit eating, Kool-Aid drinking black man up there and ask him what his opinion is about white supremacy, and he sits up here and he'll tell you, "Oh, I don't believe in white supremacy." Really? But I don't see when a black man does something, I don't hear the words mental illness. Oh, the new thing, COVID isolation, COVID shutdowns. I don't hear that. I'm going to tell you what I hear when a black person does something. I hear the words hey, let's investigate his parents. Let's investigate his cousin, his auntie, and his grandmother. And let's see what we could round up. Why is it that they don't use... I don't want to jump too far because I do have to have a point coming up about the KKK. And this guy, his manifesto, right? He was definitely influenced. He's been paying attention and obsessed with black people for a long time. On his gun, he had printed, he wrote on the gun that here goes your reparations. Okay? He had a lot of racist remarks on his gun. He had something he talked about buck breaking and all that. It was a term for buck breaking to use all of that. This is a guy who has been obsessed with black people. And that man hated the black man so much. That man talked about how much he hated the black man. I mean, I got to do this because they're taking over. If I'm not mistaken, this sounds like the same copy and paste manifesto Dylan Roof had. This man was arrested without a scratch. He was handled with care. The only thing they didn't do was give him Burger King, probably because there probably wasn't a Burger King in that neighborhood. This doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, in other news, you people are talking about Young Thug and Gunna and the YSO camp with RICO laws, but they ain't never used the RICO law on the KKK.
Never.
This 18-year-old man who they call an 18-year-old kid, let's go with that. Well, if he's an 18-year-old kid, then what the heck is he doing with an automatic rifle with unlimited ammo? How did he get it?
Exactly.
You got to be first of all, you got to be a certain age to even get those weapons legally.
Exactly.
If he's such a kid, yeah.
I say you use that RICO law on him, and I'm pretty sure you will find so many cooperators and co-conspirators, and anything you could think of that was involved in that man driving up there and shooting him.
Because the ones who gonna send them, they ain't tough like him. They cowards. But that's another subject.
I say, Father, forgive me. But I say you do this. You round up that community and you do like what they do in other countries in old school justice. They put you in a circle and everybody takes turns at whooping your behind. Ooh. Now that's the justice that neighborhood of Buffalo deserves for him. No, yeah. You know what? Don't. Just put him there, right? In the parking lot of Tops. Mm-hmm. Get everybody in the community. Let them decide what his penalty should be. Let the community that he's not a part of, that he ran up in, and he executed those elderly black people at that. And he knew exactly what he was doing because he was in a city and state that has strict gun laws. He knew nobody would be there. He had it mapped out. He knew that there wasn't no gunmen, police officers, or security that were there. He knew exactly what time of day to go. He knew exactly how many people would be there around that time. He knew the entrances, the exits. He knew everything. He had a literal map.
Yes, he
had
a map.
Whole situation. This man scoped out this neighborhood for years. This man did his research. Okay?
Yeah, and that's a kid.
So don't tell me about no freaking mental illness. And don't tell me this is some crime of passion. Yeah, he had a passion, all right. His passion was his hate for the black man, woman, and child.
Yes.
That was his passion. Okay? And he did this crime knowing ain't nobody gonna stop me because, hey, I've seen Dylan Roof do it and get away with it. I've seen church bombings for years and they got away with it. I've seen
They got away
this
with it,
happen
yeah.
at this place and they got away with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta get away with it. And I don't want to hear nobody blame this on no freaking MAGA. This ain't got nothing to do with MAGA.
Yeah.
This was before MAGA even existed. Okay? Calling him a potential insurrectionist. Okay, that's fine. And those are cute code words. But we all know that the hate you give messes up everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. If I was the son of one of those parents that he killed, oh, you ain't got to worry about prison. Give me 5 minutes with him. 5.
5, yeah.
And it's gonna be some bloodshed.
That hurts.
So this lone wolf stuff, no. And like I said before, he was handled with care, because when you kill people who look like all of us on this panel, you're handled with care because the same people are on the same side as you, but they have to arrest you so that it doesn't blatantly look like they sent you to do the crime.
Let me mention one thing real quickly.
Go ahead.
Now, I thought about this and I said to myself, now a lot of our folks voted for President Biden, right? A lot of our folks voted for President Biden, right?
Well, I like where you're going. I like where you're going.
Didn't President Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black? Didn't he say that? But when the Asians got, they were getting killed, there was homicide with the Asian community, there was protection upon them.
Immediate legislation.
Immediate
legislation.
Now, where is the same energy for the black community? That's my question, Mr. Joe Biden.
It doesn't
President
exist.
Joe Biden.
It doesn't exist.
Even the vice president that is black don't got that energy. We talked about that on this show. She got a whole episode.
Cinema, keep going.
Keep going.
Speak to Zacchaeus' point about what he said about politics right now. Go ahead.
Number one, pandemic. You had George Floyd. You had everything. You had every opportunity.
Cinema, get closer to the mic. I want people to make sure
you had George Floyd. You had every opportunity.
Yeah.
You've had Kaepernick. You had every opportunity to introduce this legislation.
Yeah.
But Mitch and his boys are in there, and they don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't. What's his name? Oh God.
Cinema, I'm gonna throw you a nice little history thing real quick. Current. You know what's bad in America with this current legislation and the past one, that it took all this time for them to bring to the table an anti-lynching bill.
Right, just now.
Bring that up.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same reason, and I said this before, and some of you may have never heard this. This is the reason why they make Martin Luther King's pictures black and white, and they were not black and white, because they're not that old. It's
same thing with Malcolm X. That's a good one. I'm glad you
Malcolm X wasn't in black. Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Malcolm X was younger than Martin.
Exactly. And none of that stuff was in black and white.
If I'm not mistaken, he was younger, or whatever.
Oh, I think Malcolm was born 1925. Dr. King was born 1929. I think.
Okay, so Malcolm was older.
Malcolm was older.
But
okay,
still,
but the point is,
Martin Luther King dies. Me and you, Zacchaeus, are born a few years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's just talk facts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk the fact that my family growing up here in North Carolina, where I am,
Mm-hmm.
were were the first ones to segregate white schools. My dad got thrown down a flight of stairs at a school, and some kid here was talking about, you never went to that school. My dad said, I segregated that school. You need to
Wow.
get your education.
Desegregated.
Hello.
This just happened this fall when he went to a football game and sat on that side because that's his high school team.
Mm.
Because that's where he went to high school, because he was one of the first black people to segregate. So that's one generation.
Right.
That's not 3 or 4 generations. That is current.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of the bull crap.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Lynching was before my parents. And so
Yes.
you're just getting a law for that now. This is preposterous and ridiculous.
That's right.
So you're talking about lynching
Mm-hmm.
now when other laws needed to been
Mm-hmm.
in effect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because this country sweeps everything under the rug and wants to lie about it.
Yes.
Because this country's about capitalism and it's about white people.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll have everybody fight. And then even now, the classism, all the stuff, we don't even have time to talk about the full mechanism of this country. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as black people's concerned, it's all this and then us.
Yeah.
We're down here somewhere.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's why I don't
And that's why I ain't hearing nothing. Like all these church people who came at me. You remember George Floyd?
Yeah.
I just hit the block button. Y'all don't.
Exactly. Don't. Yeah.
Don't.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. When you're the ones who have impressed me in the church system.
I say it all the time. I say it all the time. You want to know how everyone else feels? Let something racist happen, and then the true them will come out.
Right. Yes. And then because they'll try to empathize with you, but when they can't change your mind, they disappear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get ghosted by white people like this. And I'm not saying all of them.
No, you're talking about the suspected white supremacists and white supremacists. And let's speak to the suspected, because I said this a while ago on several shows.
Right.
Because everyone won't tell us who the white supremacists are.
Right.
So that we could deal with them as a nation. We have
even though they don't agree with them.
Right. We have to suspect
you. Right. You're sus. So you're sus.
Right.
So the second you show me something sus.
Right.
Because cinema don't want to be hanging from no tree.
Thank you. You know what's bad when you have people who were born and have passed away and still haven't seen a lynching, an anti-lynching bill, which is, first of all, we're talking about post we're talking about slavery, post-slavery, Jim Crow era, post-Jim Crow era, and still.
And now,
And so the reason why I brought that up is because, Zacchaeus, you talked about where is this energy at from Joe Biden, and I ain't vote for him. Okay, so whatever.
Okay,
I just want to make it clear because I know people are going to ask me. But the thing is that I didn't vote for Trump either, because I know that's the next question for the audience.
Right.
So then now the third question is, fifth, did you vote? H, no, I didn't vote for nobody. But anyway, the thing that
we already knew that. We knew that.
But I wanted the audience, but the audience are probably going to say, well, then, did you vote for Trump? I can't believe you voted for Trump. No, I didn't vote for nobody. Keep sweat voice.
I voted for local people.
Right. Well, that's how it should be. Well, that's how it should be because
local.
Because little tidbit in here before we go on. Your local government controls what happens to you around you.
Yeah.
So vote for them.
No, that's true.
Yes.
You'll see that progression first. Right. When you do
Right.
local. But check this out. So you have
Keep
this.
going.
The reason why I'm talking about is because yes, he did say to Charlemagne, if you got to decide between me and Trump to vote, then you ain't black.
Yeah,
And Charlemagne said, why is it got to be that I ain't black? I just want to vote my interests. And if you're not for my interests, why am I voting for you? Well, the other guy's not. Well, you aren't either. Next.
Next.
Exactly.
So now we talked about so black people should be a protected class, just like the Asian community is, and I'm not mad at that. They got what they were supposed. They got what
They got what they
got what they fought
We don't
for.
want
Yeah,
right. We don't want them getting attacked. We
Right.
don't want them right.
The
They
po-
have rights, and the people need to leave them alone too.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so
Absolutely.
so
man.
they got what they got, and they weren't even slaves in this country. But anyway,
Yeah.
So I just felt like the people who were born here originate from here, the Aboriginals here at least, and those who look like us here. I just don't understand why we couldn't have an anti-hate crime bill when slavery got abolished. I
But
mean,
then-
come on now.
You wouldn't have Black Wall Street then.
Hello.
You wouldn't have what happened in South Carolina when a whole government, a black voted in government, was just overturned, and our government did nothing about it.
And oh yeah, there wouldn't be a Rosewood. There wouldn't be what
A
happened.
Red Summer.
Yeah, there wouldn't be that. There wouldn't be the riots in St. Louis, the race riots in St. Louis,
Newark, New Jersey.
There wouldn't have been what happened to the old Chicago. None of that. All of this stuff wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for protecting people who are the most targeted. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess some supremacists in authority needed a loophole.
Well, I mean, do I need to identify as another? Do I need to identify as
another? Well,
I'm just saying.
You can identify as what you want now. So
yeah.
I mean, you know,
but I ain't gonna go there
because the first two legislations that I saw of protection that I saw was the Asian hate crime bill, and then also the trans bill. So my thing is this. Where do we go from here? Oh, I know. Hey, your thoughts and prayers. I'm about tired of the praying. Where's the policy? Where is the policy? There should be tangibles and policies that followed immediately a long time ago. Way overdue. They should have signed a bill the next day or that day when the shooting happened at Tops grocery store.
Yeah.
That's what should have happened.
Oh, there is a bill sitting there that the House ratified that the Senate hasn't touched.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
see?
oops.
Yeah, oops. And meanwhile,
they can't get rid of it until they vote on it. And so, so that it can't pass, that the president can't override it when they kill it. They'll just let it sit there. They're trying to let it die in committee. It can't die in committee because it's been ratified by the House.
Oh, and another thing, Cinema, Zacchaeus, and I want Zacchaeus to take the mic on this one. Why is it that the media does this when they talk to the families? They'll be like, "Hey, you know, I'm sorry, my condolences to your family, but do you forgive the shooter?"
Take it.
Now, for history, we're the most welcoming people. We welcome anybody in our community. That's black folks. That's us.
History. Black people everywhere in the world. Everywhere
in the world.
Even the Jewish community we saved through Joseph.
Yes. We're welcoming people. So the first thing that come out when you remember when what's it called? What's the brother name? That got killed in his apartment.
Botham Jean.
Botham Jean.
Jesus. His brother.
His brother.
Can I hug her? Please.
Can I give her a hug? You think if that was her brother, she would give you a hug? She'll want you killed. So we're so. That's the first thing. Do you forgive the shooter?
Because they're trying to soften the blow.
Yes, because if the family says they forgive the shooter, then they won't sentence him harshly. That's why they try to do that.
Yes, and that's it,
But
and that's their plight. Yes.
Have you ever heard? But have you ever heard anybody say, and I'm gonna throw it back to a sensitive thing that triggers white supremacists and suspected white supremacists to this day.
I know where you're going.
Have you ever heard anybody interview Nicole Simpson's family and say, "Hey, do you forgive OJ?"
Never.
And I don't think he did it anyway. But the point I'm making is, I ain't never heard them ask him. I ain't never heard anybody ask Merkowitz, the son of Sam.
Yeah.
Their families, did they forgive him? Or did they ask anybody who was
Yeah.
with the Jim Jones situation when they drunk Kool-Aid, when they drunk the Kool-Aid and died? Did you hear anybody say, "Did you forgive Jim Jones?"
Did you forgive Jim Jones?
I've never heard that.
Negative.
But you want to ask black people? The body is not even cold yet, and they asking you if you forgive him.
Forgive him.
Media, if you see this, if something happens to my family member, don't show up at my house.
Yeah. There you go.
For your sake and mine.
There you go. And look, in the situation of Sandra Bland, if I die in police custody, know that I did not commit suicide.
Exactly. It's on record right here. Cinema did not commit suicide in police custody.
Thank you. Okay.
Please reference this clip, put it up all over your social media, and get them suckers.
Right. Zacchaeus, we're gonna have to move on after this, but anything you want to say on this subject?
Man, they asked us to forgive this, but please, we've been the victims of hate crime for centuries in this country.
Man.
My God.
Yeah.
Forever.
And still being victimized.
And still being victimized.
Yeah.
And it had the nerve to ask us, do you forgive right away?
Yeah.
They miss me with that one. Oh
miss
my
me
gosh.
with that one.
Listen,
my head is on a swivel.
I understand it's the Christian thing to do, but don't ask me that question right now. That's just how I am. Do not ask me that question, because the answer you're gonna get, you're not gonna like.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And shout outs to Eric Gardner's because what happened was, when he got killed, they asked him, "Do you forgive the cop for killing Eric?" She said her words, "Hell no." And as a matter of fact, did he have any mercy when Eric was screaming, "I can't breathe" 13 times when he was squeezing on his neck, and now he wants some mercy?
See, what you seeing there is the New York attitude, and we got all three of us got that. Don't come at me with that.
Hey, listen, they asked that question, and she gave the media all the smoke.
That's good. I'm glad she did that.
I'm glad she did that too. That's a writer. That's a writer right there.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad she did that.
Oh God. I'll repent after the show. But see, now here's the thing. Now we gotta get into this situation, right? Because we're gonna do a compare and contrast. Contrast. We've had a sad situation happen
today. Yeah,
it really is sad because the babies got killed, man.
Right.
Jeez, man.
This freaking guy, this savage. Okay.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
For all those who didn't know, I've been a kindergarten teacher. I've been a teacher. My mother ran a school for about 15 years where we nurtured and brought up kids. And it's like something like this happening, somebody coming into your school. You're not armed as a teacher. There's nothing there because you're kids. Someone coming in with a weapon into a school is unimaginable to a teacher. And every time something like this happens, it really tears my heart apart.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Because it makes me think about, what if these little kids, because I had 4 and 5 year old babies.
Jeez. So it's a sick thing. It's very
It's
sick.
it's sick.
It's evil. It's evil.
It's,
and
it's straight. Yeah.
oh man,
And so
heart goes out.
continue.
To them.
Yeah. Heart goes out.
Yeah, and we gonna do this. Okay, so
You,
like we mentioned earlier, I don't even know this man's name, but I'll get
I
it
don't
in a
even know if
second.
it's been released yet.
Yeah, I'll get it in a second. But he was an 18-year-old student, or is still 18, because you could be 18 around this time of year and be about to graduate. Because I know I was that, because I'm an April
Yeah.
baby. But 18-year-old student of Uvalde High School decided to go to an elementary school and kill 18 children and a teacher, and then another adult they just said was found dead as well. The 18-year-old shooter is dead. The cops killed him. Cinema, you go.
He's dead. Why? What nationality was he?
He was that of the Hispanic community. Your turn.
He didn't get handled with care? You tell I'm just asking questions. He didn't get handled with care?
No, he didn't get handled with care.
He didn't get a burger?
Nope. No.
He got the bullet sandwich. That's what you're telling me.
Swiss cheese.
He's going to be carried by 6 and
Instead
not
of
trialed by
judged
12.
By 12. Right. Exactly.
Mm.
So I don't disagree with him smoking him down.
I don't either.
Nah.
I just want y'all to know that. This is just a comparison.
Right.
He should have got the lead sandwich. He deserved the lead sandwich.
Who else deserved that too? Who else deserved that?
My dude in Buffalo deserved a lead sandwich.
Absolutely.
Dylan Roof deserved the lead sandwich.
Absolutely.
There we go.
My dude who was trying to be Carrot Top deserved the lead sandwich.
Absolutely.
With extra mayo and pickles.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
pickle, everything, man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you
man.
know what I'm saying? Let's just be consistent.
Yes.
There's something A.R. Bernard says, consistency leads to stability.
Mm.
And when you're not consistent, that's when chaos ensues. And I'm going to visit this bill about background checks and all that stuff that the House did pass and sent to the Senate, and all of a sudden it's missing.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to say that because a missing person is not a joke, but that sucker is missing like something in your mom's purse and you're digging. Where's that bill? I mean, let's just take some steps. Steve Kerr went off. I'm tired. We ain't doing the Senate. He went off.
Yeah.
Mm.
Remember, Steve Kerr lost his father into a situation like this.
Wow.
I'm going to say this because I said this on social media. This ain't a headline for those families. This is a life-altering, destroying event that changes your life forever. When they all talking politics and all that stuff, that family member is going to be gone. The trauma is going to be there. The stress is going to be there. The anxiety, the loss of a child, a parent losing a child. No parent deserves. And it wasn't like the child was murdered, took out of this world unnaturally. It's despicable.
Yes.
Murder is despicable. And I was just talking to somebody that, we play games and stuff, but taking a real human life, how depraved do you have to be? It's like even after someone who's, law enforcement and stuff, after their first time doing that, they got to get counseling and stuff because it shakes you. Well, if you have a heart and a conscience, I'll say that. Your conscience has to be seared. You're the epitome of selfishness the epitome of ego. And if you can't have compassion for that, for people who have victims like that in these situations, and you can't make it consistent so there's closure for everybody, you need to look in the mirror because there's something wrong with you. If you're going to keep making excuses and taking these boys out to Burger King, you're part of the problem. Because my man didn't have a chance.
Nope.
And I said this off air, and I'll say it on air, and I'll go on record saying this. If you drop them, you're going to stop them because it'll make people think twice. But when they live and then they get the limelight and they get the Burger King treatment, the next one's coming.
The next one is coming, yes.
If you drop it, you stop it.
Stop it, yeah.
And it's terrible. And it's like, little, children, it's another Sandy Hook. And people are like, it's made up. It's a conspiracy.
No, it's not a Sandy Hook.
Tell the family. I dare you walk to a family member. They will choke slam you.
Exactly.
And it will be well-deserved. Shouldn't you press charges? You being an idiot here on the internet.
Yeah.
Y'all people are crazy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And this just talks about the double standard. Okay, he shot down. Okay, Dylan Roof and them don't get shot down, but people who are unarmed are killed.
Yes.
Because of their pigmentation. One dude had his hands up and still got shot.
Yes.
We was talking about it. We was talking about a black man that got shot in the back of the head while being apprehended.
Right.
Not too long ago, right? Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. If you go back through the history of this podcast.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that this season.
I know that's this season. But I'm saying we've been on for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And more than 2 episodes every season, this subject comes up.
Yeah.
And that's a conservative figure because I think it's more, but I'm being conservative.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's the fact that there's no consistency in anything in this country, that the double standards there, the undertone double standard.
And this is why they keep coming.
Zacchaeus, take over. Go ahead.
Take it. Come on.
Yeah.
But this is why they keep coming, because there's no accountability. I mean, you having this man that massacred people. When I talk about the same fairness, and you have this man that's Latino, he's dead already. He's gone. He's dropped. He's gone. If you keep this consistency like that, a person will think twice about doing mass murder.
Yeah.
These people that commit the mass murder belong to some militia. I don't know if it belongs to a militia or racist supremacy that's very angry of this country for having so many the nationalities and different diversity of people here that they want to keep they want to keep the pure Aryan pure racism race here, and all of a sudden now they want to.
How are they keeping it pure when they stole this land?
Exactly.
But continue.
Yeah, exactly.
Stole, raped, and pillaged. Ain't nothing pure about that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And brought sickness to the Native Americans too. But that's a different story. We ain't gonna go into that.
Right. They killed Pocahontas.
Exactly.
That disease.
Freaking rape Pocahontas before they. Anyway.
Watch the movie of The Last Mohican. The Last Mohicans. Yeah, but
Lord.
but anyway, yeah, you cannot keep it consistent. And that's the problem. This is why so much they have mass murders that they're gonna keep coming, because you have to stop them. Like what you said. Like I'm piggyback on what Cinema says.
Yeah.
You gotta drop them.
Yeah.
Drop them.
Yeah. Drop them. Don't just wound them.
Drop them. Yeah, the same energy you had with.
Right, bring back the wild. You want to be the Wild Wild West? Get the penalty of the Wild
Wild West. Exactly.
Well, hey, what do you say about them soft punk behind Christians? Because they out there and exist. Oh well, why would you want judgment? Well, there is a scripture that does say the sons of perdition have chose their path.
But hold on.
Say it.
What weren't y'all screaming judgment when your boy lost the election?
Oh, you mean they're God?
Yeah, they're
They're
idols.
God. Yeah.
The I won't even call them Christians. They're Christianizers.
45.
They're
45
Christian.
was their God.
Christianizers.
Yeah.
Agent
Exactly.
Orange was their God.
You were crying for
Orange
judgment.
was
Oh,
their
this country in return to the please.
Yeah, but
You don't
those same people that were asking the family, do you forgive Dylan Roof or do you forgive this new shooter? Those are the same people that were storming the Capitol.
Exactly.
How about that?
Yeah.
Insurrection.
This is sick. Not a lot to talk about this situation because it just happened and there's still more things to unfold and they killed the shooter. So I mean they basically they did what should, like you said, they did what should have happened with the top shooter. Or what,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
It happens.
But
it happens in the hood. Happens in the hood every day.
But I hate when I hear stories like this because, yo, man, we talk all the time, right? We say women and children are soft targets.
Right.
You have to prioritize protection.
For soft targets.
For soft targets. And then you also have to prioritize protection when hate crimes happens. I mean, look, you got to handle it. You got to handle it. And I don't want to hear, oh, we got our arms full. No, you handle it just like you handle other situations.
Yes.
The heck out of here with that. Because I can see something happen and this is the other part of me that ain't done with my thoughts. I also see this overshadowing the Tops situation to the point where they're going to forget, right? They're not even going to talk about this shooter in Buffalo anymore. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, the articles and the talks about it have slowed down already.
See?
Right, because they want you to forget it. So by the time the case comes up,
and they're gonna make you forget it. They're gonna make they're gonna make people forget it. Of course.
Yeah.
They're gonna make it forget it. Yeah. But this one in Texas, I don't know how they might keep this one going.
it's over.
Well, they're gonna keep it. Okay, they're gonna talk about this for a different reason. So it's gonna get the Sandy Hook treatment, right? It will. And then they're going to talk about gun laws and da. You know what happens? It happens all the time. It's the same old song. You know what I'm saying?
Until the next news story comes, and then it will be gone.
Exactly.
Different meanings, and because it'll be gone.
Exactly. They'll be back to talking about gas prices and inflation. No, nothing else to see here. Back to business as usual. You know how it go.
Yeah, back to business.
You know,
but these families aren't going back to business as usual.
No, they grieving, man.
And that's the part that I'm sick of and I'm tired of, and that needs to be brought attention to.
I'm sorry,
because the whole thing is, we already know. We talk about it all the time what they do in here, but it's like if you get this, you let the media desensitize you. Because now I'm even limiting how much time I let the media do it or how I consume it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like doing the TV articles more. I'll read something to control the consumption because you will get desensitized because they got to have something for 24 hours a day. Then you're desensitized.
Right.
You can't let yourself get desensitized to these things because then you become part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speak on it.
Speaking
facts, man. You speaking facts.
You know, it's like Wayne says, all the time, somebody's got to be accountable.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be accountable. And the whole thing is, since our government doesn't want to be accountable, the whole country doesn't want to be accountable. But, they don't want that smoke or that responsibility anymore. And that's why our government not being responsible, we're losing the place of being a leader at the table, whether y'all want to accept it or not.
Yeah.
Because if we're not accountable and this stuff goes on in your borders, how are you going to go to somebody else's borders and enforce something?
Mm.
People don't want to hear that garbage.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's out of hand. I don't have any final thought on this one. I know we was gonna get into another topic, but I mean, there's no point.
Yeah, we don't need to.
We don't need to. We kind of made the point.
Yeah.
I think
I don't have a final thought, but I do kind of have like a conclusion that we could all kind of say. So I want to give I want to give a rest in peace to all of those who've been killed in the Buffalo shooting, and also what just happened at the school shooting in Uvalde. I want to give a condolences to the families of Buffalo and the families in Uvalde. And I don't. We talk about things on the show, but I mean we do empathize. I mean I don't want people to think we don't, but we just don't like the garbage and the same old spectacle every time this stuff happens. Nobody cares, sadly. And this stuff just happens. It's like a cycle.
Yeah.
So much stuff happens in this nation. Forget just the world, but just in this nation alone, that it's hard for us to address everything because every topic would be,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have we wouldn't be able to talk about anything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
right.
But yeah, that's my conclusion to what I had to say about that. Anything else you guys got to say before we get up out of here?
No, I think I said enough.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
All right. Hey, let Zacchaeus let everyone know where they can reach you, man.
You can reach me on Facebook at Wayne Zacchaeus Bacchus on Facebook. Also, Wayne Bacchus 167 on Facebook, on Instagram at Zacchaeus Music, on Instagram. And also Wayne Bacchus Gospel on Instagram. Also you can hit me up on what's on TikTok, Wayne Bacchus Zacchaeus on TikTok, also on Twitter at Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter. Hit me up. Blessings.
Yeah. Cinema.
You can hit me up at Cinemascapes on IG, TikTok, Twitter, Cinemascapes Media on Facebook. The Cinemascapes Media on IG is kind of inactive right now, but we're working on something. That'll be back soon. Sort of a rebranding. But yeah, you can hit me in those places.
All right. Y'all can reach me at the Fifth General, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right. This was another episode of The Round Circle. Signing off. Fifth General, Zacchaeus, Cinemascape. See y'all next time.
See you next time. Peace.